Hello, everyone. Today I am going to be ranking all of Lana Del Rey's songs from the last decade of her career. I wanted to put this video out around the end of January of this year because it marks 10 years since her debut record, Born to Die, was released. Now, I know some Lana Del Rey stans might be like, oh, that's not her debut record. She put out one in 2010, but it wasn't on a major record label, and as of right now, I do not believe you can find it on streaming services. And because of that, I've only listened to a handful of songs from that project. Maybe back in the day I did listen to the whole thing, but I can't remember. It's been so long. So I know a few songs that jump out, but I decided that I was going to only include songs that came out from Born to Die, which was sort of when she was thrust into the mainstream sphere. That was when I discovered her, right about when the lead single came out at the end of 2011, to the current day, which actually means this latest song from the Euphoria TV show soundtrack, Watercolor Eyes. So none of the tier ranking lists that I was seeing on the tier maker website included Watercolor Eyes, or they included other songs from her past that, like I said, I'm not going to cover in this video. And so I decided to make my own tier ranking template. And so I have included all Lana Del Rey songs to try and get rid of some of these ads here. It's a little all over the place on this site. We have all Lana Del Rey songs that were officially released on a studio album or soundtrack. Now, again, there might be a few songs in here that were like a super deluxe track that you only got from a Target edition of the album. I have not heard all of those super deluxe tracks, so they will not be included in this. I am sorry. So maybe this isn't the most comprehensive Lana Del Rey tier ranking video, but there's still a lot of songs. I haven't counted, but obviously we have 8 studio albums if you consider Paradise, the EP, its own album, and a bunch of other songs that were released for soundtracks and other things that I will be including in here. So, without too much preamble, let's go through the categories. At the top, we have Religion. So these are going to be songs. I tried to name them after Lana Del Rey song titles, so Religion is a song of hers. I'd seen another tier maker make that their top category, so I'll confess I sort of copied that idea. I figured, these are the songs that are the chef's kiss of Lana's. It's going to be a very small category. If you've watched any of my tier ranking videos before, I tend to leave that to be under 10 songs, the elite songs of my favorites of hers. Below that, we have the category Beautiful. She has a song called Beautiful, so I figured it would be apt to give just the step below, the songs that I still really love, I would definitely recommend. They're just not the absolute tops of my favorites, and there'll be a little bit more in this category. The middle category is going to be music to enjoy Lana to. I wanted to do some sort of play on the song title Music to Watch Boys To. And this was what I came up with. Trust me, it was a little hard to come up with, songs, song title plays and puns with this. I'm not the most clever person, please forgive me. But these are songs that, as it says, I enjoy listening to. They're perfectly fine. They're not songs that offend me or anything. They're just maybe not the most memorable. They're maybe just, like I said, a little step below. Maybe they're just like, B plus category. The category below that is going to be called God Knows I Tried. I thought this was an apt title for this section, as these are songs that I don't necessarily hate, but they're not songs that I'm necessarily seeking out and listening to a lot. They're also songs that it's more that I respect them, but I don't personally like them. Maybe I don't like the melody or the instrumentation or the style, but I also respect that the songwriting is on point, that for certain fans of another genre, this song would be really good. And so this is what this category is for. This is definitely not songs that are below the C line. They're not songs that I personally love, and they're songs I've really tried to give a chance to, but I also don't necessarily believe they deserve to be trashed. And so I'm going to try and not make it too negative when I talk about those songs. The negative categories are Summer Bummer and the last one, which is called SNL Performance. Summer Bummer, again, it's a track off of her Lust for Life album. I feel like the title Bummer kind of alludes to the idea that these songs are just a bit of a bummer. Maybe they're just too slow. They're kind of a snooze fest. I was going to label one of these categories snooze fest, but I ultimately decided to go a little bit more tongue-in-cheek with Lana Del Rey references. So these are songs that, yeah, don't really do it for me. Mostly just put me to sleep. They're very forgettable. And then we have the elite worst category. Again, there should only be like three, maybe two, three songs in this category. SNL performance. This is obviously a nod to 10 years ago when she was debuting with Born to Die. She was a musical guest on SNL in the United States, and let's just say it was not the strongest vocal performance. It got critically panned. She got eaten alive for it. It's become somewhat of a cult classic because of that. It's so bad, it's good. You can't look away. Yeah, it was a train wreck, and it's a beautiful train wreck, just like Lana can be sometimes. But I felt like it was an apt title for that bottom category. So without further ado, let's get into this, but just keep in mind, obviously this is my ranking, not yours. So these are my opinions. I am a Lana Del Rey fan. Am I a stan? I've debated that. I've reviewed every single Lana Del Rey album on my channel, so there is that, so you can look at those reviews where I go a lot more in depth. I am unfortunately not going to be able to be as in depth in this video, just for the length of time. I want this to move a little quicker, but I also want to share my thoughts on some of my favorites. So don't worry, there'll be a little bit of commentary in there. But I do love Lana Del Rey's music. If you've watched my channel, you know this, and I have a real ear for her. But, there are hits and misses, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm hoping this list isn't too controversial. But as it can be with any tier ranking video of any kind, it's going to be controversial. And as just like Lana herself seems to love controversy, that's something we're about here.
Party.
So we were starting off with her titular debut album. Well, not titular, but it's Born to Die. We have the debut single. More nostalgia, if anything else. I think if you strip that away, it's not the most exciting song of hers. An interesting concept thematically and poetically. I am going to put it in Music to Enjoy Lana to. I'm going to adjust this as we move along, so keep that in mind. I also am going to, the songs on the left are the songs that are stronger than the songs on the right. So they are going to be organized to some extent, especially in the top and bottom categories. Off to the Races, very sultry, tongue-in-cheek song. Again, I enjoy this one. It was a great introduction into the feistier side of Lana. But again, right now, it's always hard at the beginning. I'm not entirely sure whether I put it to the right or left of Born to Die. Right now, I am just going to put it there. Blue Jeans. Blue Jeans is definitely beautiful. A soaring anthemic melody, something that you will come to know I'm a big fan of with her music. Video Games is one of those songs that some people might consider her absolute best. I still think it's strong. This might be a little controversial, but I think it's a little sleepy for me. I'm going to put it here because I still think this song is, it's more just the fact that it was her first ever song that she released in the mainstream sphere. Not so much the fact that it's a really strong song on its own. I still think it's strong. It's just not quite up there for me. The Diet Mountain Dew is, I'm going to put it in God Knows I Tried. That's not to say that I don't enjoy listening to it. I just don't think it quite belongs in the top category there. National Anthem definitely goes in Beautiful, though I would probably put it on the lower end of that. Dark Paradise, I'm going to put in Music to Enjoy Lana too, but I'm going to put it down here. Radio is going to go probably about, I'll put it up there. Very catchy. Carmen. I think I'm going to put Carmen. Gosh, this is already getting controversial. Surprise, surprise. I think I'm going to put Carmen about here. I do love the lyrical content. $1 Million Man, I actually think this song is brilliant melodically. I think I actually might put it above National Anthem. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it there. Summertime Sadness. So this one definitely goes in Religion. It's, over time, I've gotten a little tired of it, but like this is one of the Lana Del Rey songs that everyone knows and is so evocative of her moody kind of atmosphere and songwriting. You can't get enough of it. This is what makes us girls. I'm going to put this one in God Knows I Tried because I really appreciate the sentiment of it, but I've never really gotten behind the melodic construction. Without You definitely deserved to be on the main track list. Put it in here, maybe there. Lolita, I'm gonna put in Summer Bummer. I think it's one of the weakest tracks. And then Lucky Ones, I think I am going to put pretty high up here, maybe right above Video Games. Moving on to Paradise, the EP, we have Ride. So, definitely going in Beautiful. It's just, does it belong in Religion? Maybe over time I will adjust it, but for now I'm going to put it at the top of Beautiful. American is just that. It's a very American classic sounding melody. Very whimsical, very ethereal. Everything I like from a dramatic, epic, melodramatic Lana Del Rey mid-tempo ballad. But I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to put in Beautiful. This middle category is going to be the biggest, as you can tell. I'm already struggling here. We'll go there. I think the line that is so iconic from this one, you all know it. Do I need to say it? I think it overshadows most of the rest of this song. Personally, it's not a huge fan favorite of mine, but I appreciate why it's so iconic. Blue Velvet, perfectly fine. I've heard some people say this is a really bad cover of that song. It's her interpretation. You either like her style or you don't. Bobby Electric jumped out to me when watching Tropico, the short film that she made for this, which was one of her best music video visuals that she ever put out. But it's on its own. It's not a song that stands out to me as much. I do believe it is also a cover. So I am going to have to put it down here, I'm afraid. I want you to be on that side of it. And similarly with Gods and Monsters, I hate saying this, but this is not a song that I come back to so readily. Might be my least favorite song on Paradise. Bel Air definitely goes in Beautiful. I think I would put it up here. Yayo is also, I almost want to give it to Religion because I feel like Yayo is a classic song from her first era, her debut record that is not her debut. And it's just the most sepia-toned, crepuscular, moody, ambient, jazzy vocal delivery that she's ever given us. It's so simple and so elegant. And then we have Burning Desire. I'm not a big fan of this one. It's just a throwaway track for me. I hate saying that. It's just a little lackluster. Young and Beautiful was the closing credits song on the 2013 Baz Luhrmann Great Gatsby film. There are actually two versions of this song. There's the kind of more traditional polished version, and then there's this DHH orchestral version, which has a lot more of a symphonic backing. I actually prefer that version, but both versions I really love. And I am going to put it up pretty high here. I think I'm going to put it up in Beautiful. I remember when I first heard this melody in the trailer for the Great Gatsby movie in 2013, and I was just like, oh, this is making me want to see the movie more than ever. Once Upon a Dream, a cover that Lana was born to make. The Sleeping Beauty hits has never sounded more hypnotic and whimsical and hypnotizing and ethereal. Oh, such a fan of this one. I almost love it more than Young and Beautiful. I know that they're covers, so I can't put them up here because I don't really believe covers deserve to be in Religion just because she didn't write them herself. But oh my gosh, such strong tracks. So now we move into Ultraviolence, a record that I've had a little bit more of a tumultuous relationship with. I've definitely grown to appreciate it more over time. I can't remember exactly what I said in my review, but I probably was a little harder on it than I was on other records of hers because it's a little bit more of a grungy alt-rock record than her more jazzy, whimsical, pop-leaning record. So I think this one was a little less my taste, but I've grown to appreciate it. And Cruel World, I think, encapsulates that the most because I wasn't really feeling this song upon the first times I listened to the record back in 2014. And so I hate to say this, but I am going to have to put it in God Knows I Tried. Trust me, that title means everything. I mean, I appreciate this song so much. I just never really got fully behind it. Ultraviolence, perfectly fine track here, goes right in the middle there, I would say. Shades of Cool. This one definitely goes in beautiful. I would put it probably up around here. Um, the 1930s sound is just, it's almost erotic. Brooklyn Baby, music to enjoy Lana too. You go pretty high up here. Um, West Coast, it's kind of lackluster in hindsight, but it had a groove to it. I'm gonna put it down here. Sad Girl, again, I vibe with it, but not as much as some other tracks. Pretty When You Cry, it's a very beautiful song. Maybe put it down at the end of beautiful, or maybe I'll just put it up about here. Okay, so Money, Power, Glory is a summer bummer for me. I'm just not really feeling this one. I don't really like the melody of it. It's a bit stale. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Effed my way up to the top. One of her best song titles. Definitely belongs. Again, this middle category is going to get so big. I probably should have made more categories here. Yeah, maybe about there. Old Money, beautiful, truly beautiful. The Other Woman, a truly beautiful cover. Nina Simone. I'm thinking maybe about here. Black Beauty, it's okay. Guns N' Roses. All right, so for me personally, this is not my style. Some people are gonna really hate me for putting it in this category. I'm not a fan of the band, and I'm not a fan of the style that she's influenced by for this song as it's titled from the band. It's not my kind of thing. I'm sorry, it's too grunge, it's too rock and roll, not my kind of thing. Florida Kilos, again, very controversial, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put it in God Knows I Tried. I understand that this song is iconic for its subject matter. I just think that it doesn't float off the page the way other Lana Del Rey songs do for me into my ears as gracefully as I'd like. It's a little cumbersome. It's different for her. I'll give her props for that. And then Is This Happiness? A melancholic meditation on moving on in life and love and very much touching the heart. I'm definitely favorable towards it. This is getting difficult, maybe around there. We have the 2014 film Big Eyes, which is about the artist Margaret Keane, who painted people with these big eyes and faces. I really loved that movie, and I do love this song. It's a little forgettable. I kind of forgot about it until making this list. So, for that reason, I think I do have to put it on the lower end here, but deserves a shout out. And then we have I Can Fly, which was another song from the soundtrack. Very triumphant and a perfect quintessential power ballad. I'm not sure exactly where I'd place it here, though, because to be honest with you, it's not really stood out to me over time. So I think I'm going to put it on the high end of this category. A very criminally slept on favorite album of mine, Honeymoon. Not going to see many Lana fans put it this high up, but for me, this is one of her best songs, and I'll revisit this order in a little bit. Music to Watch Boys To. Beautiful. Terrence Loves You. I will put you down there. God Knows I Tried, actually, I think aptly belongs in the God Knows I Tried category, which is quite apt. High by the Beach. I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't think that this song has aged that well. I just don't really see the appeal of it anymore. It was exciting because it was a single, but there's so much more interesting stuff off of this record that this song gets overshadowed. Freak. Loved the music video, but it was mostly because of the Claire de Lune piano part at the end, which isn't a part of the song. So I might unfortunately have to put it in God Knows I Tried. Art Deco is another one, not as big a fan of. Burnt Norton would be higher, but it's an interlude. Religion. I'm going to put that pretty high up here. Salvatore. I think this song is very beautiful. I think I'm going to put it down there. The Blackest Day. I'm going to put you around here. Okay, so this is another one that is not super strong to me. I'm gonna put it in Summer Bummer. I just feel like it's a snooze fest. I've never been able to really get into this one. It's the one skip on Honeymoon for me. I apologize. The Swan Song. Swan Song might actually go up in religion for me. It really might. When I think of what I love Honeymoon, it's the opening and closing tracks. You just can't get better. Can't get better. But then there's the Nina Simone cover. I'm gonna say honestly that this is my least favorite of her covers. I am gonna kind of put it around here. It's not her song as well, so I can't give her credit for the melody and the songwriting. Okay, moving on to Lust for Life. Love is a perfectly average Lana Del Rey song. It really is like the very, very middle of her ability. I'm gonna put it like right around here. Lust for Life, honestly, not so about it. It's not really aged for me very well. 13 Beaches. If you've seen my Lust for Life review, you will know that 13 Beaches is that song. Unapologize. I'm not apologizing for it. This song is so epically composed and showcases her vocal ability so beautifully. The melody, the poetry, on point, on point. I wish that we'd gotten a music video for it. Instead, we got one for White Mustang, which is just dime a dozen for her. It's not bad, but it's certainly not something that, is that exciting. This is another controversial one. Sherry. I am not a huge fan of this one. I'm going to put it here. People are going to be mad at me. People are going to be mad at me. I am sorry. If you need to close the video, you had enough. I am sorry. That's all I can say. I'm not a big fan of this one. I'm just not. I'm just not. Summer Bummer, actually, as much as it should go in Summer Bummer, I actually kind of dig the slinky hip hop groove. So it goes a little higher than that. I'm actually debating maybe even putting it in the yellow category here. Whereas Groupie Love is kind of a little less so for me. In My Feelings definitely goes in the lower end here. I get a similar feeling of like, I love the storytelling. I'm just not about the melody here. Something's not clicking for me. Coachella, it's Woodstock in my mind. Some wonderful songwriting on display here. Some great storytelling. Put you right around there. God Bless America and all the beautiful women in it. This song is easy breezy, beautiful Lana. What else is there to say? When the world was at war, we kept dancing. Um, Very experimental song. I think it pays off, but it's not the most favorable. I'm gonna put it around there. Beautiful People, Beautiful Problems. Her only collaboration with Stevie Nicks. I'm gonna put this one up here. Very beautiful, very simple ballad, but it conveys its emotion on its sleeve like I want it to. It's just so understated and so heartwarming. Tomorrow Never Came with Sean Ono Lennon. I also think that this song is folk brilliance. I'm going to put it down on the lower end of beautiful. Heroin. Okay, so I'm actually putting a lot of Lust for Life up pretty high. I think Heroin is a brilliant song. It's gothic, it's dark, it's pining, poetic. Need I say more? Heroin. We gotta stop sleeping on this girl. Change. This very ominous, very deeply personal ballad that is evocative of even personal, more strong ballads to come from her. This was sort of a signifier of where she was going with Norman. We'll put you around video games, maybe just behind video games. And then we have Get Free. It's a shame that this song is so derivative in that it's copying the melody of Creep by Radiohead. I'm going to put it in ultimately pretty high tier here, but it does get knocked a few points for that. I would have liked to see more originality there, even though it is a very interesting song melodically and sonically. Season of the Witch was a little creepy little number she put out for the film Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark in 2019. It's the perfect song for spooky season and definitely memorable enough for that aesthetic. Now we move on to her most critically acclaimed record, Norman Effin Rockwell. The title track, we're showing where change took us, and I think it's just a tad stronger for that reason. Mariner's Apartment Complex. I've kind of gotten bored of this song. I listened to it so much before the album came out that it's not as iconic to me as I should be giving its props. I'm going to put it down here. Venice Bitch, the 10-hour, 10-minute long opus. Very, very experimental, which she's earned the right to do at this point. F It, I Love You. We're getting so much in this category, I know. Doing Time, this is one of my favorite covers of hers. This is definitely going high up in beautiful. Though again, it is a cover, so it can only go so high. But come on, this gives new life to the Sublime song, and it's a great song. It's the best, it's the quintessential summer beach song, particularly the Southern California beach. Love Song. Need I say any more? We're going up to beautiful. We are going up to beautiful. We are going high up in beautiful, okay? Cinnamon Girl. She's a moment. She's a moment. She gets a little dark at the end. I like that. How to Disappear. This song kind of disappears in the track list, but it's not to be understated, undervalued. Okay. I'm sorry. Every time I have to do this, I know I'm getting people mad at me. But California doesn't do it for me. It's the one skip on NFR. I say it in my NFR review, and I know people are going to have things to say. So sorry.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now.
Bartender. Laurel Canyon, delicate piano ballad here. Big into the vibe. Happiness is a Butterfly. Again, this one deserves to go up in beautiful. Probably put it around here. We have The Greatest. Again, I think The Greatest is going to go at the very top of this category. And then we have Hope is a Dangerous Thing. For a woman like me to have, but I have it. Her longest Fiona Apple-like title here. The poetry is on point. The melody, not so much, but I forgive it. And we'll go around there. And then this was not technically on the record, but Looking for America was a song that she put out in lieu of all of the gun violence that we were seeing in the country at the time, which we're still seeing. It's always going to be relevant. It's a wonderful kind of autobiographical track for her, and this just slice of folk Americana that sits wonderfully if you put it at the end of the NFR track list. So a hidden gem that definitely deserves to be pretty high up here. But moving on, we have our two 2021 records. We have Chemtrails Over the Country Club. Okay, this is again controversial. I have to put White Dress down here. I appreciate it, but it's not doing it for me. The rapid, raspy vocal delivery, it's so avant-garde. It's such a taste thing. And you either are into it or you're not. And I don't want to slight it. That's why I'm not going to put it in this category, but it's not for me. Whereas the titular track is much stronger, though not terribly memorable. I hate to say it. And Tulsa Jesus Freak, again, this album doesn't have a lot of aging power for me. I'm a little thrown off by the folk Americana sound mixed with the heavily vocal manipulated auto-tuney kind of stuff she's doing to her voice. It just doesn't jive well. There's a mismatch. And so for me, this song kind of suffers because of that. And I'm going to have to put it on the lower side. Let Me Love You Like a Woman is a very tepid track. It's very familiar territory for Lana. It's something that she's done stronger versions of. Wild at Heart, we've got so much mediocre here. Wild at Heart, yeah, maybe could go right there. Dark But Just a Game, one of the stronger ones. Not All Who Wander Are Lost. Again, put you maybe around here. Yosemite, I wanted more from this track. It doesn't disappoint entirely, but I wanted a 13 Beaches moment. I guess when I saw that title, I was getting that energy and it just didn't quite deliver. But I'm not going to slight it. I'm still going to put it around here. Breaking Up Slowly, not so strong. Dance Till We Die, I love the vocal breakdown. I love the 1960s, 70s rock moment that she has at the end. I appreciate that, but for me, it's just not that girl. And then, of course, we have the Joni Mitchell cover, which unfortunately, because it's a cover, I cannot put it in the top category, but I can put it along with all these wonderful other covers that are just so chef's kiss. For Free was one of my favorite songs of 2021, but of course, it's one of my favorite Joni Mitchell songs now, and I didn't actually know of the Joni Mitchell song until this album came out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And finally, we have her most recent album, Blue Banisters. Textbook. I've had a journey with this one. When it first came out, I was not feeling it. But I think it deserves to go up a little more because I think it's really grown on me. I'm actually going to put it a little higher up. Put it about here. Blue Banisters definitely deserves higher up, mainly for the songwriting. And then Arcadia, I'll put you up there. The interlude, the trio, I'm going to put it in God Knows I Tried. I do think that, because she doesn't vocalize on it, does it deserve to be that high in the first place? But it's an interesting moment. Doesn't really fit the vibe of the record, though. So this is another one that is going to really get me in trouble. But Black Bathing Suit is just not doing it for me. And so as a result, I have to put it in God Knows I Tried on the low end. If you've watched my Blue Banisters review, you are probably aware that this is a song that's a fan favorite that's just not hitting home for me melodically. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the lyrical content. If You Lie Down With Me, beautiful. It's not the most beautiful song she's ever made, but it's perfectly nice. Violets for Roses. A classic Lana Del Rey melody here. Put you down around here. All right, Dealer. Dealer, Dealer, Dealer. I think Dealer belongs maybe like around here. I know some people might put it higher, but for me, it's good. Not quite that good, but it's good. Thunder, it doesn't do it for me. It sounds like an old track of hers that she's just dusted off and tried to give new life to. Wildflower, Wildfire. A little lukewarm on this one. I don't hate it by any means. Again, Nectar of the Gods, a little too simplistic, but I respect it.
I respect it.
Living Legend. Living Legend is going to have to go in Summer Bummer. Just not a fan of this one. Cherry Blossom. A lullaby to a child, an unborn child. It's as light as a fairy's wing, this melody and this piano work. I'll put you right about there. And then we have Sweet Carolina. For me, this is just quintessential Lana, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put it quite at the top, but I am going to put it very high because this is Americana-influenced feminine motherly music, and it's just a perfect lullaby. And then most recently, we have the song Watercolor Eyes. I'm not huge on the song. I love the title, but maybe I just need more time with it. But as of right now, it's not quite hitting home. So I'm going to have to put it around the God Knows I Tried category. But I'm definitely into the storytelling of where she's going with that, the imagery of Watercolor Eyes. It's like, that's just such a brilliant song title. I would name a whole album that, to be honest with you. And so here's my list as of now. For this SNL performance category, I don't want to get too harsh, but I do feel like one other song maybe deserves to be down there with it. And I'm debating on who. I've seen a lot of people say they don't like this song, so if I were to put it down there, I don't think I would get a lot of hate. I'm debating on adding either Lolita, 24, or Money, Power, and Glory. Personally, I want to put Money, Power, and Glory because for me, this song is just, and to be completely honest, I don't really vibe with the message of it that much. I understand Lana's music is a bit cautionary. It's a bit, archetypal, and it's not always meant to be morally on the straight and narrow. I get that, and I'm fine with that. But for me, this song has just never sonically really done it for me. So I'm afraid I think I'm going to put it in SNL performance. But I think I also might put Lolita down there as well. I think I might put Lolita down there, but I'm still going to put it above Guns N' Roses because I just don't vibe with it. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this being as it is. With this category, I can't complain with this really too much. Maybe put Beautiful just a nah, I think that's about right. And then up here, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. And then finally, I have 5 songs in the top, and I'm liking the order of them here. I think that these 5 songs are sort of the quintessential Lana Del Rey songs that I would recommend to a new Lana Del Rey listener, but I think are just also my ultimate pleasure songs. Everything about them is just so wonderfully composed and mellifluous and orchestrated beautifully, cinematic, just everything I'm coming to Lana Del Rey for. And don't get me wrong, this top row here could have easily gone up there. It's just very hard, I'm trying to trying to balance this out. But I'm feeling pretty good about my ranking here. If you made it all the way to the end and you didn't rage quit your laptop in frustration, well, thank you so much. Because I know, again, I might have offended some people with my lower picks. But again, we all have our own picks. And that's why I want to see in the comments what yours would be. What are your top 10, 15, 20 favorite Lana songs? And what are your least favorite Lana songs? Be very curious to see how our lists compare. And I will leave a link to this tier making template if you want to make one of your own. So that'll be in the description, along with, I think I have it in a playlist of all my Lana Del Rey reviews. So you'll be able to see that playlist linked below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you made it this far, please give this a like if, again, it didn't offend you too much and you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you are new here. I'm probably going to be covering Lana again this year because she never goes a year without releasing music. So let's be real. I keep saying she needs to take a break. She never does. So we might be getting another Lana Del Rey record this year. I wanted to put this out at this time after we got these 2 last records, and it was 10 years of Born to Die. And looking back, she's really done her thing. But boy, has that girl been busy. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you all in my next video. Peace, love, and light. Bye.